Hello everyone, this is Highlander from MTG Cardsmith doing another custom Magic the Gathering card review. This is another card by the man I can't pronounce. Feralitator? Boy, you're really making this hard on me, huh? Feralitator. 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 I guess it must be Feralitator, right? Post in the comments below if you know how to pronounce his name. Okay, so this is another card from his set, which I also don't know how to pronounce. Nerotomea. I'm just gonna pronounce it Nerotomea because I think that makes sense to me. All right. So let's see what we got going on here. We've got a nice common. Love me some commons. 1 red mana, instant. Gotta have one of these in every set, right? Magmatic Crash deals 2 damage to target creature or planeswalker. Okay. If you have 4 or more cards in your harbor, it deals 3 damage instead. Your harbor is a separate... Okay, so we learned about the harbor. That's a separate face-up library, and you can interact with it as if it was your library, I believe. Now, this card wants cards in your harbor. So I mean, again, this is another perfectly fine common. You know, this completely on par with sort of modern design as far as power level goes and as far as commons go, right? I mean, nowadays 1 mana will give you a shock, you know, a shock with, well, a 2 mana damage spell with upside. Let's put it that way, because shock's upside is that it can go face. Some of them say, you know, you can exile something. Some of them say, you know, they deal 3 damage. In other cases, you know, Frostbite is a recent example. So yeah, this one is perfectly in line with that. Power level wise, this looks like a perfectly fine card, and a good card even. I don't know how easy it is to get 4 or more cards in your harbor, but I mean, our fish friend hauls 1 every time you cast your second spell. So that's not like super easy, but you know, there's obviously going to be other cards that help you do that. Excuse me. So yeah, I mean, overall, I think this is a perfectly fine card. Really, the only issue I have with this is that the text should be centered vertically. That makes your cards just look a lot nicer. I know you said you haven't put flavor text on these yet, but you know, if you haven't put flavor text on it, just go ahead and center it. Once you get the flavor text in there, just pop it in that bad boy. Yeah, I'll give this card. This card, I think, gets a 3 out of 5. It has the issue with the centering here, and it's not. I wouldn't call it particularly original. I mean, that's fine. Like, your cards don't have, your cards don't have to be original. Especially commons, are very difficult to make original. I mean, like, how many iterations of the 2 mana damage spell for 1 have there been made? There've been a million of them, and this one, does the right thing. It uses the set's mechanic to sort of modify it, which is, that's basically exactly how Wizards would design something like this. So design-wise, it's great. Just could use a little bit of formatting boost, and I guess the other thing that confuses me is again flavor here, right? Because okay, so this is called Magmatic Crash, right? And I get that. I mean, it's cool art. I get that, a Magmatic Crash would deal 2 damage, but what's with the harbor is what confuses me, right? If you have 4 more cards in your harbor, then it deals more damage. So I don't really get that part. Like, what about the harbor makes this Magmatic Crash more powerful? You know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna call it something like the harbor, this is kind of like where your like mechanic choice sort of affects things pretty heavily, right? Because okay, so you have this mechanic harbor, which I think is interesting, depending on how you utilize it. But you've called it harbor, right? Which means that it has a connotation to it, right? A harbor is a place connected to the ocean. Let's just look up the definition of harbor. Why not? Define harbor. A place on the coast where vessels may find shelter, especially one protected from rough water by piers, jetties, and other artificial structures. Okay. Keep. Oh, look at that. Keep a thought feeling in one's mind. Shelter or hide. Okay. I mean, that's cool. You even have like a double meaning with it, which is neat. But assuming that your set, you said your set is ocean themed, so I'm assuming that you're also going for this definition here. So, what about a place where boats, I guess boats and cargo and things like that can go, makes a magmatic crash more powerful? I don't quite see that connection here. So, like if this was called like cannon volley or something, I mean, I'm sure you can come up with a cooler name. That might make sense because it's like, okay, well, it deals 2 damage, but if you got like a lot of ships in your harbor, then all of a sudden you're getting a lot of cannons shooting, right? Something like that I think would really help with this card a lot. Currently, it looks quite generic, which again is fine, but it would really push it up over the top if you could flavor it better. So anyway, that's enough rambling from me. I'll give the card a 3 out of 5 for those reasons that I stated, and I hope to see more of these cool cards. And I can't get my weather thing to go away. Thanks for watching.